My name is Cameron Torian. I am a diplomat working in the visa section at the U.S. Embassy. And today I'm going to talk to you about probably what will be the easiest part of your journey studying in the United States, receiving an F visa. So before I start, does anyone know what a visa is? Any brave soul? What is a visa? So a visa, it's a really simple thing, right? It's a piece of paper, but what that really means is it's not necessarily permission to enter the United States. What a visa really is, it's permission to go to the United States and knock on the door to ask for permission to enter the United States. It might seem weird, right? But in order to even get to the United States, you need to have this piece of paper, this visa in your passport, to enter regardless of what your kind of status is. So there's tourist visas, which are known as B1, B2 visas. There are exchange visas, and then there are things for students, which are the F visas. So today I'm going to talk to you about what that process is like to get that F1 student visa. So I think the easiest part of the student applying for a student visa is actually the student visa itself. The hardest part that you'll ever do in this process of getting to the United States to study is actually being accepted by a school. Raise your hand if you think getting a visa is difficult. You raise it high. Raise your hand really, really high. Okay, so a few of you, right? And there is this misperception that it's really difficult. For F1 student visas, the approval rate is almost higher than 90%, right? Because if you're good enough and qualified enough to get into a U.S. university, you're already, in many ways, more than well qualified to receive a student visa. So what is that process like? What are the steps? So the first step is you have to get actually accepted to a U.S. university. The university will work with you once you've been accepted to send you your relevant paperwork, but the main thing, the main piece of paperwork that you want to kind of stick in your head is this thing called the I-20. The I-20 is the piece of paperwork that your school will send you, and you'll come to an interview with, and it has to be the original. So you always want to keep your eye out for I-20 and work with your school to make sure that you get the original. Once you've been accepted, they'll send you your I-20 and you'll schedule an appointment. Once you schedule an appointment, you also need to pay this thing called SEVIS. So if you're not familiar with SEVIS, SEVIS is basically the International Student Exchange Tracking System the United States uses to make sure that you're in status when you're in school, that you're actually studying, that you are meeting the requirement load. So you have to be enrolled full-time, which is 12 credit hours typically, in the United States to meet full-time student status to qualify for that visa. Once you pay your SEVIS fee, you're going to schedule an online appointment. So the website's really easy. You can Google it. The link is there as well. It's travel docs or id.usmsd.gov. You'll schedule an appointment. You'll fill out your application. The wait time is not long, but you do want to be careful that you schedule it well enough in advance. So if you're starting school in the fall, I would prepare to start making your student visa appointment as soon as you get your I-20. Your school will send it to you well in advance. And probably around the summertime, midsummer is a good time to start thinking about when you want to schedule your appointment. Once you schedule your appointment, you'll come in for your interview, and you'll talk to someone like me. And it's usually really short interview, especially if you already prepared and have all your documents. And we'll ask you really simple questions like, what are you going to study, where will you study, and why do you want to study there? And then once and if your visa has been approved, you'll then pay your reciprocity fee. So the reciprocity fee is basically the fee amount that you pay in order to receive your visa. Okay? So what do you bring to your meeting? So as I mentioned before, the really important document is this form called the I-20. And the I-20 has the overview of everything that you'll need kind of when you're at school, right? So we'll go over your funding, who's paying your school, what the subject is, what you intend to study, where you're studying. And at the interview, it's a really important document because the officer uses that piece of paper to kind of figure out what's going on with your application, right? So yeah, that's when it's really, really important. In addition to that, you'll want to bring your status receipt. So once you pay your status, you'll bring the receipt for that. And anything else kind of related to your application. So your actual application form, and then any other funding documents. So say you got an exchange, so say you got LPPP, you would want to bring any of your relevant documents related to how you're actually paying yourself. Yes? So as I mentioned before, this is a new thing, but there's a reciprocity fee once you've been issued your student visa. So reciprocity basically means that what one country charges the other will also, right? So once you've received your visa, you will pay the fee at the end of your interview. It's really important that when you actually go for your interview, you bring appropriate form of payment. So you'll either bring cash or a credit card with you to the interview. Next. So visas can be issued up to 100 days before class. Students can enter the United States up to 30 days before the start date. So, as I mentioned before, timing is important. Once you receive your I-20, you want to make sure that your school sends it to you well enough in advance for you to prepare for your interview. Luckily in Indonesia, there's not a long wait time for interviews, but at least 120 days in advance is when you want to start to think about actually scheduling an interview at the embassy and getting the appointment lined up, right? The embassy in Jakarta is usually where the interviews are conducted. You can also go to Surabaya, but Jakarta is usually easier. A lot of people usually ask, well, I have like a valid tourist visa, can I enter on my tourist visa? You can enter in a tourist visa if you're going earlier than the time period. So say it's prior to 120 days, maybe your brother or sister are studying in the United States and you want to see them, or they're going to help you get set up. Once you're in the United States, or you've entered on your regular tourist visa, you want to make sure that you adjust status appropriately. Because if you don't adjust status, what that will look like then is that you're staying longer than you should on your tourist visa, right?